Welcome back to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. I want to say thank you for your continued support to this channel. Indeed, we are where we are because of your unwavering support. If you are watching us for the first time, please take a second or two and hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell. If you love our videos, you can share them, and kindly don't forget to give this particular video a thumbs up. Again, I don't take your support for granted. Thank you very much. Rigathi Gachagua accompanied William Samoei Ruto in Larry, in Meru, in what they call interdenominational prayers. At the face value, you might think that these people converge together to call the name of the Lord. But on further scrutiny, you will realize that if they are given 1 hour, they might use 30 minutes to 1 hour in worship. It will be some few songs, and the bishop or the man of God will be preaching. And the sermon is choreographed so much that it supports William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua. Then the rest of the hours will be used for politics. And these days, you can easily predict how they play their politics, because 90% of their talk will be about Raila Odinga. It will be to defend their authority, to defend their victory. And you wonder how one still defends an authority and the victory that they had about a year ago. And they spend that time to really chide against Raila Odinga. And today Rigathi Gachagua did not fail, because you can always predict what he wants to talk about. So he took that moment, a very painful and shameful moment for us as a nation. Rigathi Gachagua was caught pleading and begging William Samoei Ruto not to allow the Kimani Chungwa and Kalonzo-led group in Bomas to scrutinize servers that were used in the last presidential election. And he said that those people do not have any authority to do it. It is reminiscent of what the whole of the Kenya Kwanza fraternity has been saying and has been doing. Just take a look at Rigathi Gachagua.
Excellency, nikimalizia, mimi nakubaliana na Mheshimiwa Dede Nyoro. Your Excellency, you know I and many people, your supporters, in millions, were against these talks with these Azimio people. But when you decided we talk, we don't argue with you, we agree. Lakini ile agenda nimeona imewekwa pale kwa mazungumzo rais, we don't agree with it. Ati agenda number 1 is to audit the 2022 general election. How? Those people have no capacity. There is no constitutional provision for anybody to audit a general election. That audit was done by the Supreme Court, and a decision was made, and you are declared validly elected and sworn in as the President of the Republic of Kenya. Sasa hii watu wakutane ati waongee ati uchaguzi ilienda namna gani? That, Your Excellency, we don't agree with, and we would like to ask that agenda to be dropped from those talks.
You know, I've always said on this channel that the day we open that server, Kenya will burn to ashes. And I can repeat that without a shadow of doubt. Because I know, like any other person who would want to study the Kenyan politics knows, that there were concerted efforts from several groups to ensure that Raila did not ascend to power. And if you ask me, the IEBC chairman of Wafula Chebukati, the Supreme Court led by their president, Madam Martha Koome, and the USA led by their ambassador here, Madam Meg Whitman, played a pivotal role to ensure that they handed over power to William Samoei Ruto, because USA just fears Raila Odinga for reasons that I don't understand. And so the day you open that server, number 1, there are people who will go to jail even without trial, even without mentioning names. They belong to the Hague. The day we open that server, I'm sure Kenyans will rise up and they will chase Meg Whitman. The day we open that server, there are crops of leaders who will walk with their heads stooping low because they have been bragging and chest thumping about how they won elections and how they want Raila Amolo Odinga to retire from politics. The day we open that server, we look at them in the face and tell them, now talk. The day that server is opened, there are several supporters of the Kenya Kwanza team who have been walking and bragging how they won the elections. They don't want to see the other side of the coin, that there might have been a possibility of interference with the elections. So it's the reason I believe Rigathi Gachagua is ranting, because he knows what lies ahead if at all that server is opened. And if you ask me, I don't think they will allow it to be opened, because the very, very forces that blocked Raila from ascending to power will block it, will not allow it. And I'm sure that maybe Rigathi Gachagua is talking this way because people like Wafula Chebukati, the Supreme Court, are questioning him. And they're asking, nini hii inaendelea? They're just afraid that maybe they can be implicated. And in a nation where we are aware that you can be sacrificed, you can be a sacrificial lamb, you never take things for granted. And I'm sure they are giving him a lot of pressure. This issue has cost them painful legitimacy issue. Ever since the duo was sworn in as the president and the deputy consecutively, they have been trying to gain legitimacy by force, butchering people in the streets when they question anything to do with this government, going for campaign rallies that never stop. They continue to promise Kenyans heaven when they can't even implement the very promises that they gave in the last elections. They have been trying to do everything, launching roadside, projects, relaunching Uhuru projects. They have been trying to do everything just to show people that they have that legitimacy. In fact, when they go for rallies, they would even ferry people using school buses just to be seen that they have numbers. This issue is a thorn in their flesh, ladies and gentlemen. They understand that when the server is open, ladies and gentlemen, it will expose them. It is like the children waking up one day and realizing that the seats that they have in their house were stolen. And so this will expose them even to the people who are aligned and subscribe to their political ideologies. There are people who believe that William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua won fair and square. But when that server is opened, because they are innocent people, if you ask me, who know that they won, if that server is open, they know very well that it will expose them to the whole world, and it will be known that they never won that election. This government behaves like a student who undertook some exam. The exam was marked, and then they're accused of exam cheating, and they're told, we want to set another exam. If you really trust your brains, do you fear taking another exam? This is exactly what is happening. Because what we are talking about here is not the process as they tell us that, election was over, the IEBC declared William Ruto, and the same victory was maintained at the Supreme Court. It is the same thing that Raila is saying, that both the IEBC and the Supreme Court were compromised. And so the only system that can expose the truth is the server. And interfered with, the server will give us the result. If you give people an opportunity to argue about this, we will argue for a whole year. Raila will maintain with his supporters that he won and his victory was taken away. And I know there are people who say that Raila had the system, the deep state. It doesn't matter. It is beyond arguments. William Ruto will say, I won fair and square, niliwapiga na deep state. Now, we just want the server to be opened to know the truth. Did you know that there are people that neither support Raila nor William Ruto? There are Kenyans who are really interested in the truth. So that if Raila was defeated, we tell him, tafadhali, wacha Ruto aendelee na kazi, let Ruto continue building the economy. And if William Ruto was defeated, we tell him wait for another day. But this circus where people make noise every day, Rigathi Gachagua continues telling us those people don't have the authority. It's not about an authority. It is about the interest of the people to know the truth of what really happened. Because people continue to chest thumb. They even say Raila should go home, should retire. Yet they are burning with the guilt inside them. Otherwise, why would they be bothered so much about a process that is taking place at Bomas? They are culprits who connived together, and they are afraid. The truth is, that server might not be opened, but we now know who is burning with guilt. We now know who won. In the words of Martha Karua, the Constitution allows William Ruto to be the president, but he said William Ruto will never be his president. And I know there are very many people who share the same sentiments, and that is my take.